As you know, Tulsi Gabbard, the representative from the great state of Hawaii, has thrown her hat into the ring, and she announced that she was running for the Democratic nomination in 2020, right? And then suddenly we started learning these things about Tulsi Gabbard. One of the things that they criticized Tulsi Gabbard for was her religion, and saying that she was connected to Hindu Nationalists. So Tulsi Gabbard came out, she spoke about it. Gabbard criticizes media outlets, alleging she has ties to Hindu nationalists and cites religious bigotry.
I want to bring up the issue of religion because it is one that we have seen for too long, and we continue to see being used to foment bigotry and elicit fears and suspicions in people because of someone who holds a religion that may be different from the most. We see this in politics all the time. President John F. Kennedy went through this test when he ran for president, where people questioned how his Catholic faith would drive and influence his policies.
I am not the Catholic candidate for president. I am the Democratic Party's candidate for president, who happens also to be a Catholic. Whatever issue may come before me as president, if I should be elected, I will make my decision in accordance with what my conscience tells me to be in the national interest.
I took my oath of office on the Bhagavad Gita when I was first sworn into Congress in 2012. I'm a practicing Hindu, and my spiritual practice, my relationship with God, is something that is near and dear to my heart. Whether it is Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists, Christians, atheists, whatever the path that people have chosen for their lives, it is important that every one of us stand up, call out, and condemn those who are seeking to incite bigotry based on religion and not allow them to try to use that to divide us, because that's not who we are in this country of freedom. We saw devastatingly the impact of that in Pittsburgh with the shooting at the synagogue. This is what happens when this is allowed to continue without being condemned and stopped. This is where the result ends up.
The gunman was armed with an AR-style weapon. The names of the 11 victims, ranging in age from 97 to 54. People who have been shot.
With people being shot and killed in their place of worship. We cannot allow that to happen to those who may share our faith or those who may have a different faith.
Today I may be the victim, but tomorrow it may be you. Until the whole fabric of our harmonious society is ripped apart at a time of great national peril.
So as we stand for peace abroad, we have to stand for peace and freedom here at home amongst our brothers and sisters, and recognize that interconnectedness, and that we have to stand and speak as one.
Tulsi criticized the media outlets highlighting her alleged ties to Hindu nationalists, and this was an op-ed that was published in the Religious News Service. Here it goes. She says, "I'm proud to be the first Hindu American to have been elected to Congress and now the first Hindu American to run for president. While the headlines covering my announcement could have celebrated this historic first, and maybe even informed Americans about the world's third largest religion, some have instead fomented suspicion, fear, and religious bigotry about not only me, but also my supporters. That Hindus, alongside countless Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, agnostics, and atheists, support me should not be newsworthy. But some media outlets have chosen to craft a false narrative of intrigue by profiling and targeting all of my donors who have names of Hindu origin and accusing them of being Hindu nationalists. Today, it's the profiting and targeting of Hindu Americans and ascribing to them motives without any basis. Tomorrow, it will be Muslims or Jewish Americans, Japanese, Hispanic, or African Americans. I, too, have been accused of being a Hindu nationalist." Okay, so Gabbard claims critics cite the fact that she met with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi as proof of her being a Hindu nationalist. These same critics, she argues, have now criticized President Donald Trump, President Barack Obama, and other members of Congress who have met with Modi as well. To question my commitment to my country while not questioning non-Hindu leaders creates a double standard that can be noted only in one thing: religious bigotry. I am Hindu and they are not, Gabbard writes. And you know, this is part of the American culture, right? So what happens is this, you know, we all know this, right? Intuitively know this. But I want to say it, like I said, part of what we do here on TBTV is we take back television and we call it out. You can't talk to Hindu folks without people going, you talking to the Hindu folks, must be something going on here. Because you are, in fact, Hindu. But someone not Hindu can talk to them because that's fine. Hey. And same thing with me. If I support, in a lot of cases, when I support someone who is black American descendant of slaves, right here, person born in America, black folk, they say you can't do that. Obviously, you would do that because you're both black. That's why you're doing it. I think the holds true with Latinos, too. I mean, Latinos can't support Latinos without being called out for being Latino racist. In fact, there are some people who say, hey, that's racism, that a Latino is supporting a Latino. It would never be because they actually agree with them. To them, it's only because of skin tone or skin color or nationality or whatever you share in common, whether it be religion or whatever. The only group of people that this does not apply to, Mrs. Gabbard, is white folks. They can support whoever they want or talk about whatever they want, and no one goes, hey, you only doing that because you're white. But that is the problem that we have in this country. Until we at least admit it exists and stop saying, hey, you brought it up, so therefore you are racist because you brought up a problem that exists. You brought up a reality just as real as this pen, as real as this paper, and this webcam I'm talking into, microphone that I'm speaking into. Until we can address these situations and voice them, then we'll never, ever change any of them. And you know what? I think that's part of the problem. I think there are people who don't want it to change. That's why they say, oh, when you talk about race, there you go. When you talk about religion, there you go. When you talk about these things, sexual orientation, there you go. And then that's when they start using those people against those people. So it'd be fine if you were Hindu and you were criticizing Hindu people. It'd be fine if you were Latino and you were criticizing Latinos. If you were of the LGBTQ community, I guess, and criticize LGBT people, I guess, I don't know if that would work that way, would it? Let's skip that one because I'm not so sure. Let's keep it 100. Oh, well, we know it works in the black community that way. If you black and you criticizing blacks, oh, that's a great thing. Hell, half the Commonwealth, 90% of the commentators on Fox News do that. That's how they get their paycheck. Either that or they support policies. They support policies that hurt those people. They use them. This is America's way. So what Tulsi Gabbard is bringing up here is not, I heard some people kind of framing this as if she's just, making excuses. If Trump met with, not if he met with, Trump, Obama, Clinton, she named all these leaders who had met with Modi. Nobody had a problem with it. Other members of Congress met with him. Not a problem. Cool shit. But the fact that she is Hindu, then it's a problem. So that's, to me, that's the real problem, is our suspicion. Is our, without even knowing, is bigger than the idea we have that everything has to be cordoned off into these groups, and that's the only way that we can make judgments. Okay? And I myself have had to grow in this aspect because every time someone did something, I was used to put people in buckets. So we need to stop putting people in buckets, and the further we go to letting people be people and be of diverse opinions and diverse religions and different orientation, whatever works for you. Until we do that, we'll never really have a free society. I mean, and since that's what I want, I think that's what you want. At least I hope it's what you want. So back to Tulsi Gabbard. She said, those who are trying to foment anti-Hindu sentiment expose the dark underbelly of religious bigotry in politics and must be called out. To advocate voting for or against someone based on religion, race, gender is simply un-American. Now that Now that Tulsi Gabbard, I've liked many things about your candidacy, many things that you stand for. I like the fact that you seem to be against regime change, and it seems like you have, on the social issues, you seem to be where I need you to be. I'm just going to say this, though. When you just said right there about judging people based on their religion, their race, or their gender is simply un-American, I got to disagree with you there. It is American to judge people based on that. I wish it wasn't true. I just wish it weren't true. America speaks we say we are of this thing. We aspire to be, supposedly, at least on paper, except for the 13th Amendment, we aspire to be these people that do not see race and gender and sex orientation or whatever as ways that we judge people. Hopefully one day we get to that point, and let's work towards it. So give it up for Tulsi Gabbard at that point, and racial, gender, religious discrimination, there really has no place in a progressive society. And let's just hope that more people want a progressive society. Still there? Well, all right. Click on the left for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, The Debate Continues. And click the right for my full coverage of Tulsi Gabbard's announcement for running in 2020.